More boxes on the screen. Same hot talk. Roll that footage. Birds. I don't know what you want to call this show. Birds of a Feather Fan Friday.
We are
A2D Thursday night. Thirsty Thursdays. I don't know what you want to call it, but we're gonna roll that intro. We're gonna get a little running back talk tonight.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like oh, this thing he stink!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Birds of a Feather on A2D Radio, brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. That is 20% off plus free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you download your podcast. So if you're listening to us in the shower, on your commute, or if you're with us live.
Did you just say shower?
Yeah, you don't listen to your stuff in the shower? I listen to a podcast in the shower. I got the speakers up.
I'm guilty.
In my bathroom. Yeah, man. It's a good way to wake up in the morning. But, ladies and gentlemen, we've got something special, a special announcement for you tonight. As you can see, we are joined by the fellas of Fan Friday, Jake and Pete Young, not to be confused with the OG Pete to my left. So this is what's going to be. And you're going to start to see some things around A2D at other shows, but we are the first show to kick off the new shakeup here at A2D Radio. We have joined forces with Fan Friday. We are now the new Birds of a Feather with the four of us, and we have one more co-host coming on. He will be joining us shortly. But welcome, Jake, Pete Young. What's going on, guys? It is an absolute pleasure to have you on with us. We are so excited because as you know, as me and Pete will mean OG Pete. We got to figure out some way to do this. Me and OG Pete over here will say,
I'm just the old one, so just call me OG, call me old Pete because I'm older.
Old Pete.
You know, me and him, we agree a lot.
That'll help.
We agree a lot on our stuff, so it's good to have new voices here on the show to spark some debate because we can't be agreeing all the time on all the shows. We need some differing minds and various opinions to combat us and to get some talk going. So we are very, very excited to have you guys on. It's a pleasure. What's going on, you two?
Nothing much. Just excited to be here. And Chucks and Pete know we talk all the time. We've talked about this before. And once Tom brought it to our attention that this was happening, I think we were all excited. Because we already have us three already have the chemistry, and to bring Pete along to shake things up a little bit, it's going to be a lot of fun because we already got into it before we went live. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Help.
Okay.
How about you? What's going on, Pete? Pete,
what's up, Pete?
Man? I'm excited. It's something new. You know, me and Jake were holding things down on our own after Dan abandoned us.
I heard about that.
I mean, I was okay. Jake was a little suffering then.
Oh God. Well, you guys are more than welcome. Like I said, it's going to be very exciting, not only for the next few months as we're in the off season, you're up for the season, but in season 2, in the season as well, having you guys on, plus the fifth member who will join us shortly. So I'm so excited, and we're going to kick things off here. Our inaugural show with a new panel is going to be a great one because we are getting into positional rankings, but we are going to talk running back with the Eagles running backs first. That is the first topic in the first half of the show. We're going to talk about Miles Sanders and his future. Is he going to have a breakout season, or is this going to be his last year with the team? We'll get into that. We'll get into possible contenders or the future of the running back room. We have the other guys here, a lot of young guys. So, are they the future of that running back core? The second half of the show, we are going to continue with our positional rankings. We are going to do our 2022 running back rankings and see how we rank the best running backs in the league. And then, of course, to end the show, we're going to go no huddle and just rattle off random topics that we have for us tonight. So let's get started. But before we do, some sponsors for us, guys. Our first half is brought to you by BetUS. It's the leading online sportsbook that has been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link right there below Jake and below Pete for 125% sign-up bonus. And we are also brought to you by eXp Realty. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? Are you looking for a change in career or brokerage? Contact Adam Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. The poll question for tonight, which is brought to you by All Campus, which is the home of A2D Ramp Booth. Miles Sanders will have a breakout season in 2022 and earn a contract extension. Agree or disagree? So I am going to go. Let's do this. Let's go with our guest, Jake. I'm going to go with Jake first.
They're not guests. They're new family members.
Yeah.
He's already trying to
You did say guess.
Sorry,
They moved in.
It's weird. It's so difficult to say. It's weird to transition to new terms. But our new family members, our new co-hosts, Jake, agree or disagree to the poll?
I mean, we talked about it earlier, right? His rookie year, he was fantastic. The past 2 years, he's had struggles. And obviously, the biggest knock on him so far has just been staying healthy. So I think if he can stay healthy, he should, for sure. He should have a breakout season. But my only counterpoint to that is you have Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins. So you're going to have a lot to – Jalen has a lot of guys to throw to. So I don't know if we're going to necessarily be running as much as we did towards the end of last season. But nonetheless, I still think he should have a breakout year if he's able to stay healthy.
All right, Pete Young, Mr. Pete Young, what do you say?
No. I understand why people are high on Miles. I really do. He has lots of potential. As like Jake said, when he was a rookie, he was a baller. Like you literally thought you were getting LaShawn McCoy 2.0. Like you could see all the wheels turning with this guy. He had good hands, he was able to cut. Like the sky was the limit. And since then, he's been the Carson Wentz of running backs. Flash, fall, flash, fall, flash, fall. Like, I'm sorry. Like he hasn't had a touchdown in almost 2 years. Fumbles are an issue. His hands are not as good as they were when he was a rookie. And they've added some players. Like, you bring in Kennedy Brooks, he could be something. Like Gainwell, I love Gainwell. I think he's the running back of the future as opposed to Sanders.
All right. Okay.
Hold on.
Our fifth person has Jonas.
What happened? Just messed up the brotherly love. Come on here, right?
Separating people.
Fine.
The same shit too. Yeah, bring it back. What's up, Pete, man? What's going on?
What's up?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's going on, Nate? And anyone listening, this is our new fifth person. This is Nate Moss. What's going on, brother? How you been?
I'm good, man. Sorry I'm a little late. Had to go get my yak.
All good. So I'm gonna let you answer the poll before we get to OGP and myself. So the poll question, as you can see below, Miles Sanders will have a breakout season in 2022 and earn a contract extension. Agree or disagree?
Is this for me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad. I completely disagree. Miles Sanders sucks. He sucks.
I love it.
Oh man, I'm gonna love this fucking show.
This is already off the rails. It's gonna
Oh God,
Mr. OG Pete, my brother. What say you?
I'm going to disagree for a different reason, and I think kind of Jake didn't answer the question really, because it's two parts.
I'm like 50-50 on it.
Right, it's two parts because will he have a breakout season and will he earn a contract extension? So I think it's very possible he can have a breakout season, but I think the damage has already been done. I don't think he's going to get a contract extension here. So I would have to disagree to the poll from that standpoint because we know how this regime works. We know when they like to give their players a second contract extension or kind of that second contract after the rookie deal. And the thing with Miles Sanders is, like Pete said, like he flashes, he falls. He hasn't been consistent and he hasn't been available. And those are the two key things when you look at the running back position to where, while, yes, he could take a 75-yard touchdown to the house, but how often can he do that? When he's going to be able to backfield, to be on the field, to be able to do that. And when you have stability, you potentially could have that with Gainwell and Kennedy Brooks. Maybe we've seen Joseph Christman saying Kareem Hunt trade. He just doesn't – for the organization to give him a second deal, they have to feel confident in his availability. And he has not done anything, in my mind, to warrant that, for them to think that. You know what I mean? That's where I'm coming at it from. I wouldn't say he sucks because the talent is there, but the talent is very, very scarce. He's like, give you an analogy. He's almost like a mid-handicap golfer. Like he has PGA type shit, but he gonna be a weekend hack most of the time because he's gonna be trying to bounce to the outside. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, so, keep it real. He sucks.
When I think of Miles Sanders, I randomly think of that one Saquon Barkley game against us where he had that one run for like 70 yards, but he finishes the game for like 16 carries for like 65. Like that's Miles Sanders, to where he could have that one. He'll have that one run.
Because all right, let me answer the father of Miles Sanders. Let me answer the poll question. And
we should have left him at the doorstep.
This is what I'm talking about. Where me and you, we really need new voices because we agree way too much. Because what you said is exactly what I was gonna say. To some of your shock, I disagree to the poll. I think the first part of the poll question is going to be, for the most part, true. I do think he's going to have a good year. I think he's going to continue to do what he does well. And contrary to what Mr. Pete Young says over there, Miles Sanders actually the last 2 years has actually shown to be a lot better when it comes to running between the tackles. He gets hard yards and he gets tough yards when he needs to.
He doesn't score touchdowns, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He didn't score last year. How about the year before? But how about the year before? Did we forget about that?
Almost 2 years.
Did we forget about that though? Like,
almost 2 years.
Like 2 years ago,
10,
2 years
11
ago,
games, and
2 years ago, the conversation. Wait. 2 years ago, the conversation was oh, his hands suck, and then this past year, he barely had any drops. So where's that conversation going now? So like, it's. I know he's been consistent, but that's my.
Yes, he's been consistently inconsistent.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I'm really having trouble
with Miles. The main problem with Miles, and I've said this for years now since he came in, is his durability. He can't stay healthy. And because of that, I do not think he's going to get a contract extension. I don't think he deserves a contract extension. And if you guys remember, I wanted to draft freaking Kenneth Walker this past draft.
Yep.
So, and next year, the draft is loaded with running back talent.
We won't draft one.
I'm down to move on from Miles Sanders because I don't think he's ever going to be able to hold up. I disagree with some of you guys. I still think he is a very talented running back, but I think the injuries are always going to be nagging with him. That's going to hold him back. So I disagree to the poll. I think it's a matter of him just not staying healthy. I don't think he's going to get the contract extension. And to me, that's perfectly fine. As far as the future of the running back room, and we'll go around the horn again too to talk about this, but I love Kenneth Gainwell. If you guys remember my reaction to when he was drafted, it was posted on the HUD socials. So you guys know I loved Kenneth Gainwell. Yeah, I had a third-round grade on him last year, and he got drafted in the 5th. So I think Kenneth Gainwell is the next Nyheim Hines. But I don't think he's a lead back material. He doesn't have we talk about not having size. Kenneth Gainwell is smaller than Miles Sanders, so I don't think he's lead back material. He's going to be a really good complementary guy. And I've been saying since before the draft this past year, watch out for Kennedy Brooks. Even though he's undrafted, keep in mind they paid him the highest undrafted free agent contract. The chances of him making this team are better than what most people are leaning on. And Kennedy Brooks is a good back. All right, he's going to be a good back. He has a very good chance of making the team. I'm excited about those two guys a lot for different reasons. And I'm not saying they're going to be elite. I'm saying they're going to be good enough to where if next year our running back room is Kennedy Brooks and Kenneth Gainwell, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that room. But Pete, what OG Pete? We got to figure out what we call you. OG Pete, how do you feel about if we do move on from Miles? Because most of us did disagree the poll. How do you feel about the running back room moving forward beyond this season?
I think it's light. I like Kenny G when you say he's the next Naeem Hines. I mean, that's cool and all, but I'm not saying you need a 3-down back, but you need some type of thunder to that light. And while I like Kennedy Brooks, I'm just not sure. His speed is a little bit of a concern, but he's going to get tough yards. I get that, but they still need if it's going to be Gainwell, it's going to be Brooks. We still need that because that's your lightning, that's your thunder, but we still kind of need that blend. That's what makes, and I think the venom towards Miles is because we see it. You see that he could have been what could have been, but he never was. You know what I mean? Like he never. So now it kind of resets. But like to Pete Young's, to the other Pete, I won't say that, but to Mr. Young's statement before when he talked about they won't draft one. That's where we kind of see like, okay, now we're putting it off to next year again. So, I mean, chances are, I hate to say it, Miles is going to miss time at some point this year.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, I still think
he's going to miss time at some point this year. Is the running back room strong enough to carry them through that? And then the caveat to that is, I know somebody ran down the offensive weapons that they have. Listen, I hate to say it, but can Jalen throw the damn ball 40 times a game?
Right.
So you're going to have to rely on the run game at some point. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a tough spot because I think Miles is just is almost as integral to the team as other key positions, and he needed that, and we just don't have that. So I mean, if he's willing to sign a hometown deal, I mean, if next year we offer him, say 2 years, $10 million with $6 million signing bonus.
I'm down.
Would you guys do that?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You talking about signing Miles Sanders? Y'all still
2 years, 2 years, 10, 6 guaranteed.
Like I mean,
I can do that.
I mean, it'd be all nice and good. I mean, are we a better team with Miles Sanders on this team? Absolutely.
Right.
But you know, he doesn't suck. You know, I'm just he doesn't.
That was the anticipation to the yak talk.
Yeah, you see how long it took me to open that goddamn bottle? Right. Like 15 minutes to open the bottle for some weird reason. But no, I mean, I think with Miles, it's just like sorry, I'm gonna get your names, so we'll get there. It's funny, everybody's wearing glasses, but you, Chuck, you got to wear glasses. You got to
put glasses on.
You got to put some glasses on and make it.
I gotta fall in line with.
Yeah, you got to come and you got to come through.
We can't see that.
Glasses?
I do have glasses.
My man.
Oh, perfect.
There we
go.
Everyone looks so intelligent.
Right now.
Intelligent
Glasses.
This is the high IQ podcast. That's what
Right. So, but I mean, I think when we see Miles, we see so much of everything we've seen before of the last past running backs, right? We see them, we see the Shady, we see the Westbrook, we see the Deuce, we see the rookie. I mean, we can even go back more. We see the kind of Keith Byers, the Herschel Walkers, the Charlie Gardner, the Heath Shermans, the fucking Buckhalters. And if you just look at those lists, they all have shit. I forgot about Darren Sproles. They have all that same talent pool. They can catch, they can run, they can score, they can take it to the house. They have all this bag, and you see it in him, but it's just like he's missing it. Like those other players had it. He it's just for some reason he just doesn't. Like I've never seen a running back play in like 11 or 12 games and be a starter and never score a touchdown. Like he didn't score last year, and he played 12 or 13 games. That's insane to me. That's crazy. So he's not a number one. So he's a number two. Now he's going to want to get paid like a number one, and I'm not questioning what he puts in the work. He probably puts in the work, and he's got the talent. But whatever it is, for some reason, it's like that Nelson Aguilar shit. Like it just doesn't transfer to the field right away. I don't know if it's our system. I don't know if he just. I mean, we got the best fucking offensive line in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand how you don't score a touchdown. So that's why I say he sucks. Because you got this offensive line, you got this type of talent, and you don't score a touchdown. And I like Gainwell. I'm not as high as on Gainwell. I just think Gainwell's a better natural runner than Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what when I see like he knows when to hit the holes, when to hit them, when to cut up, when to put his foot in the dirt, get upfield. It's the same with Scott. Like they just know how to set up the blocks and hit the hole right. Like if it's a big ass hole, of course Sanders is gonna run for 70 yards. You know what I mean? My fat ass can run through that fucking hole for 70 yards. Actually, maybe like 12. Man, get 12 out of there. But at the same point, like I think we just see so much talent in him, and he reminds us of the great running backs that have wore Eagles green, and we want that so much. But he's missing something, to me, he's missing that it. Like everybody had something with them that made them a great running back here. Like all those players, you can remember plays, you can remember things that they did in Eagles green that made them great running backs here. And for whatever reason, it's just he doesn't have it. He just doesn't.
It's disappointing because, like to your point, the only game you can recall that Miles really took over was the Cowboys game his rookie year. Beyond that, there has been no signature Miles Sanders game. And to your point about comparing Gainwell to Miles, I do think there's to your point. I actually do think you're correct. Like one of the things why I like Gainwell a lot in that draft was because even though he's a smaller back, he has really good vision.
From Memphis, right? He went to Memphis.
Yeah,
right?
he went to Memphis, and he ran a lot of wildcat. His vision coming into the draft was actually better than you'd think from a scat back type of guy. I think it's no question. I don't think it's anything out of realm to say that Gainwell is definitely the best receiving back in this room. That goes. Even Miles said that he's the best receiver out of that running back room. So Gainwell has a lot that he likes.
I think Boston's pretty good.
He is good.
I think Gainwell can
better route runner. Gainwell is
a wide receiver though. That's the thing that has he knows how to run wide receiver routes out wide. And you watch Memphis, that guy was running go routes, comeback routes down the field vertical. So that's stuff that Boston Scott doesn't really do a lot of. But like out of the backfield, yeah, you can make a case for Boston, but like people have said, out of the running backs, Gainwell has the best hands. He's the best receiver out of the group. But he's got stuff going for him. And I think with Miles, what he has over everyone is that he's so much better athletically. But that athleticism hasn't translated. Even though he's progressed with his vision, you still do get antsy feet. You still do get that times where he's dancing just a little bit too much, and that's definitely warranted. Now it's better, despite what people have said, it's actually a lot better than his rookie year, but he's still not as nuanced as you want him to be. So that's something I definitely will admit to. So Jake, what is your outlook? Jake, and then we'll go to Pete. What's your outlook on the running back room going forward?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, Chucks, we've talked about it a bunch along with Pete, is that I'm really high on Kenny Gainwell. I don't know if necessarily he'll be the franchise running back, but he's definitely a solid piece that you're going to have around for a while. Boston Scott, he's nice. I like him a lot. I especially like him during Giants games. That's why I like him the most. And then Kennedy Brooks, I think, like you said, Chucks, with the money that they gave him as a undrafted free agent, he's almost locked to make the roster. So, again, I like Miles, but he's the biggest question mark, in my opinion. He's the biggest question mark. It all depends on if he can stay healthy this year and if he can actually put a full season together. And we haven't really seen him put a full season together really since his rookie year. So,
Pete, go ahead.
I honestly really like the running back room. Like I probably would have brought Jordan Howard back, but I think with the money they gave Kennedy Brooks, he was solid last year. Okay, I always like a lot of veterans in the room, especially at the running back position. But I like Kennedy Brooks. It's another person that Hurts is familiar with, like Calcaterra. Glasses Gate. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love Gainwell. I like Scott, especially like Scott when he's playing against the Giants.
Oh yeah. I think we all do.
My issue with Sanders is there's tons of talent. He has all the potential in the world, but it's just like he makes everything so much harder for himself.
Mm-hmm.
There's an open hole. All you gotta do is just get there, and it's easy. But he just wants to dance in the backfield for a few extra yards when he's just the easy route is just there.
I will say people
like watching fucking Trent Richardson.
I will say this, and Pete knows this. I get there are a lot of times where people will get mad. Like I'll see it on social media. I'll see it in like the HUD chat. I'll see it in my chat, my group text. Like people will say, "Oh, the hole's open, but Miles missed it." When actually the run design wasn't for that hole. Like I remember there was one outside toss play to the right. I forget what game it was, and everyone saw the big gap up the middle and was like, "He's bouncing to the outside." Well, no, that's not the run design. If he goes up the middle, he's not following what the run design is. And I feel like a lot of people put that on Miles, where really, if you go back and watch the film, that's incorrect. But when I say that he still has antsy feet, he's done a much better job since his rookie year at anticipating blocks and knowing where the hole will come and then getting upfield. Go watch the Jets game. Go watch the Oakland Raiders game. Go watch what was the other game where he came back where he ran 100 yards. He was running up the middle between the tackles really, 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 really well, and also creating when blocking broke down. I think the Jets game, there were a lot of broken assignments on the offensive line. There's a lot of penetration by the defense, but Miles created a lot for himself. So that people don't give him that much credit. So I don't know if I'd say that it's still an overarching problem to where he's bouncing that stuff outside. I think there's just when he goes to approach the line of scrimmage, there's sometimes he falls victim to making too many unnecessary steps. His footwork is a little he'll dance a little bit before he gets upfield, or
and that's what I said about Gainwell, right? Because Gainwell's a better runner, right? Mm-hmm. He gets upfield fast as a running back, right?
Efficiency in your footwork is important. People think that like, oh, you're making exaggerated steps, you're doing well, but no, that's not always the case. Sometimes making 2 steps in one direction is more efficient and better than making 5 steps to where you go nowhere. And I think that's, it's weird because Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders' teammate at Penn State, has a lot of the same problems. Both of them have been victim of injuries, and both of them have been, criticized for relying on their athleticism too much instead of nuanced vision.
Shit, I would if I was Barkley.
Oh yeah, he's another animal. Yeah.
I would athleticism.
Nate, imagine waking up, Nate, and waking up in the morning. You just take the covers off. You see your quads, your legs.
I'm on that shit all day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Gucci Daddy shirts all year, bitch.
Oh yeah.
I'd walk around with like short shorts all the time, all year round. Just show off my quads and my legs all the time.
Big thighs save lives, man.
Big thighs save lives. That's absolutely correct.
But I just want to throw this in there, and you can let me know what you. I think with Sanders, why it's so divisive, where like how we all are with this, he does himself no favors.
Nope.
With this on social media. There's been numerous times where he tweets this or he Instagrams
MVP that. Season.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, why are you drawing all this extra heat to yourself and these extra odds, and when you don't perform, you know what I mean? So if you would have been quiet about it and not been on social media, not had those lightning rod type of statements and comments, I'm not saying if the play on the field is a play on the field. I don't think you would certain fans would be as I'm as totally out on Sanders. You know what I mean?
Would you say it's Rager-esque?
No, not that bad.
No,
It's
not
not
that bad.
That degree.
It's not that bad.
It's
I
not
mean,
that
he
bad.
actually Sanders he may not have had a touchdown last year.
He's
But
like
he has
Jalen
that touchdown.
Rager, except there's more production on the field. Like, I just think he's too much on social media.
Right.
And I honestly, I like my players on social media. I got no issue with them like talking, but I'm like,
they got no choice. They're 20-something years old, right?
Right.
yeah, here's a great Nick Chubb's on social media a lot. Like he's very I love his posts. When he posts something, it's something like cool and obscure. But here's the thing: Nick Chubb will also like have 6 straight weeks. We'll have 120 yards and like 8 touchdowns. So like,
I think ultimately fans, whether fair or not, will give a pass if a player is performing well.
yeah,
Right.
That's
shit.
how it is.
Isn't that life?
Right.
You play well. I don't give a shit what you say.
Cool.
Yeah.
if you're winning at life and what you're doing and you're showing that, well, of course people gonna love it.
Yeah, people are going to give you for fair
It's like
enough.
you bring around, like,
They
put
teach
up
you that
the
shit in high
bullshit
school.
as long as
Like
production was there.
the star varsity player, you don't see that bitch all day in class when it come tip off.
These hoes forgave Chris Brown.
No,
That's true.
fuck CB.
It's absolutely true.
Hashtag.
Well, before we transition from the Eagles over to our the second half of the show, Bleacher Report did put out a trade scenario, and it's a trade scenario that I have actually been calling for like a long time.
Day.
And Joseph Chrisman, if I butchered that name, I'm sorry. He brought it up, and Kareem Hunt. So I would absolutely 1,000% trade for Kareem Hunt.
Mhm.
I absolutely I would do it in a heartbeat.
Like I saw.
What?
I saw some people complaining about this, and they're like, "Oh, you can't give up on Dillard, and you could get a really good trade piece." I'm like, it's possible, but like, if this whole year is about me maximizing Jalen Hurts' talent and doing everything I can to showcase that he's my franchise quarterback, getting a guy like Kareem Hunt who can rush for 1,000 yards, who has a great fucking attitude on and sometimes off the football field, can catch the football. It's like a lightning rod on that fucking team. Like, I've actually watched in the last 3 years in Cleveland. Like, he's electric. Like, even having him with Miles Sanders could be so helps.
Newsflash, he was really good in Kansas City too.
He was very good in Kansas City. But
I'm just saying, if you only watch them in Cleveland, let me tell you, when he was in Kansas City, he was
good. He was good in Kansas City.
He was more than good. He was
very good.
He was arguably the best back in the league.
I was top 3-5 back in the league when he was the lead. So Todd Womack says no, I don't want Hunt. I don't know why he says Hunt is not the same guy.
I still think it is.
Watching him.
That's totally not correct. He doesn't put up the same numbers because he's playing behind Nick Chubb. They're both top 10 running backs when it comes to talent.
Like, they're both putting up, like, other than last year, they're putting up like comparable numbers. Like, despite Hunt playing far less than fucking Nick Chubb.
And the good thing about trading for Hunt would be that he hasn't had much tread on his tread on his tires is still there for a 27, 28-year-old back. 26. He's like, he has a lot of tread left on his tires because he hasn't been used much since he went to Cleveland. So I would absolutely trade for Hunt.
I would give Kareem Hunt an extension. Trade for Kareem Hunt, give him an extension before I give Miles one.
I'm not giving no running back no damn extension.
I mean, you're gonna have to eventually.
For the right price, I would. For the right price. But again,
listen, let's be honest here. Saquon not getting an extension.
No.
Saquon hasn't been consistent the last 2 years.
The McCaffrey extension didn't fucking work.
No.
Dalvin Cook extension, maybe that's the only one. I don't think did Chubb get an extension yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
he only got 3 years. He got like
Dalvin
3
Cook
years.
hasn't even stayed healthy either, though. He's produced, but he's also been nicked up each year. So yeah, you can go either or.
You can't name me 5 running backs in the last 10 years that saw more than one rookie contract that kept the same level of play.
There's a difference between giving
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, there's a difference though between giving a running back the Zeke treatment and giving them similar to what Nick Chubb got, which is a solid extension and not giving up your entire fucking cap space for one position.
Yeah, I think it's always relative. I think that I don't have a problem paying a running back, but it's either got to be on a reasonable deal in terms of it can't be for too much, or if you want to give him a lot of money, but only sign him for a 1 or 2 year extension so that if something does happen, you can cut bait soon. That's how it's got to be. You can't. I think there is, as much as I love the running back position, there's a lot of caution you have to put when you give top tier money to running backs for a long time.
They only have a 3-year shelf life. So
Short. Yeah, they have a very short.
Yeah, Chubb got 3 years, 27. I could live with an extension like that if you're getting Kareem Hunt for 3 years, between 26 to 29.
I don't know if I give Kareem Hunt, even with that. While that trade is nice, he still doesn't solve everything.
I'm not saying he does, but he once again he adds more to the offense. It gives Jalen more weapons.
What'd you say, Nate?
I'm sorry, I'm talking to the Black Pete. Just Black Pete.
Go ahead, Nate. What'd you say?
Nah, I said I think I disagree with that. I think Hunt solves almost everything. Because what can he do? Like what do you get? I think the only thing is you piss off Sanders, because if you bring Hunt in and you pay Hunt, then Sanders is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sanders he doesn't have any reason to. If I'm Sanders, I'm like, all right, well, I want to trade now. I'm not going to ball out now because I want to get paid.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything to worth. Like I'm going to be RB2, and now I can't really showcase. I'm going all in. I'm posting, et cetera. I'm ready for this year, but you know what I mean. Like I think Hunt sells everything in the backfield to me.
So would it be easier just to trade Hunt for Sanders straight up?
Yeah.
I would do that in a second.
I would do that.
I would have no issue.
I still throw in Dillard, bitch, because Dillard's not going to do anything here.
And Cleveland loves their linemen. They love their linemen. So
people hate on Dillard, but when Mailata went down, Dillard stepped in and he did all right.
Yeah, he did.
Here's the thing. He's solid. I think he's way better than people want to give him credit for. And like obviously you want to keep him just in case that someone goes down and you can get good assets for him. But I'm like, unless like a major like left tackle like blows their ACL in like week 1 or like prior to that, he's not doing anything. He's just sitting on the fucking bench, and maybe
the way I see it, I wouldn't mind trading Dillard for Hunt, but I also wouldn't mind hanging on to Dillard for another year and then trying to. I mean, it's his. Did they exercise his option? They didn't exercise his option, right?
I don't believe so.
I just feel like in season, even
he would get paid. So.
You could get Dillard. You could get a better return for Dillard. And I'm not saying as a knock to Hunt. I'm saying like there could be a left tackle needy team that pays pretty premium price for Andre Dillard, a former first round pick.
What's a premium price you think?
Like a second round pick.
Second round pick.
Something like that, yeah.
You can get a second round. If my ideal offseason scenario is a top quarterback goes down and I get to trade fucking Gardner Minshew for a first, and a fucking left tackle goes down and I get to trade Dillard for a second.
So
I actually like Dillard here.
I do too.
I like Dillard here because I'm part of that old Andy Reid. You can't have enough linemen.
Agreed.
I agree, but it's just like it's clear that I don't think they're moving forward with him. He's basically Lane Johnson's not going anywhere, and I don't. They're not moving Mailata, so he's not going to start. And it's clear that like this is basically going to be his last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like Sanders, like.
Probably. I mean, they could always re-sign him on like a 2 or 3 year deal if he's not. If they don't have interest.
Yeah.
Just to keep him as a bench player, let him keep growing. But I mean, we've seen other linemen here, and the first person that sticks in my mind who was here and left was like Austin Howard. I think he was I forget what. I think he was a left tackle. He went and played he started for the Jets and got paid. Who was the fireman that just retired?
Kenny
Watkins.
No, from Pittsburgh.
Villanueva.
He was another one that was here, kind of later pick that stuck around.
Yeah, but he was a defensive tackle who Pittsburgh turned into a
offensive tackle.
Yep.
No, I thought he turned here. I thought he was a D tackle the whole time here.
We had another guy like that, Brian Malik out of Boston College, who I thought
Juan still got his hands on him and kind of turned him into a tackle, but then
I think the transition started here.
I could have sworn.
But he was a legit pro. Like he was a decent pro, and he started for years. So, like when you can't keep everybody, but I think that if you let Dillard go, who's behind Mailata?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
a big deficit.
You also had a team that was so needy that they literally would have given anything you said. You could have handed them a blank check and they would have wrote a number on it and you'd be cool with it.
I think they're all the other reason why. Well, I mean, we did touch on it, but you can't. You really, what Nate said, you really can't have enough linemen. Like people easily forget 2 years ago how we had a different starting 5 offensive line every single week for most of the year. People easily forget about that, and then you see people get mad over drafting Landon Dickerson last year. People get mad over drafting who's the center we drafted this year? I forget now. It's leaving my mind.
Cam Jurgens.
Yeah. Like, do we not remember how banged up our line was 2 years ago? Yep. So, having someone like go look around the league and tell me how many other teams have the type of offensive line depth that we have. It's very scarce.
Yeah.
Very, very scarce. It's not going to find, like, a lot of teams they would kill to have our backup offensive linemen as their starters. So it definitely is an asset, and that's why, like, I don't mind keeping Dillard here. And I've said this before. I wasn't even as high on Dillard as most people. I had him as a second round grade.
Really?
First round. I had him as a second round grade because I knew that his lack of play strength was going to be an issue. And it has been early on, but now he's starting to catch on. He's starting to add a little bit more weight and starting to really hone his technique under Stoutland to where he can now hold up and adjust to the bull rushes and the power moves. So, it took him a little bit of time, but that's why I didn't have him at a first round grade. But he's still a good player to have. He's super athletic for an offensive tackle. So
I think Peters, when he came into camp, Peter said he looked like a high school kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just his body. Like, his body wasn't ready. His body wasn't ready for the league. So
correct.
I mean, let's also say that Peters was also probably saying that just so he could make himself look a little better.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm an old defensive end, and I've seen Peters' tape, and he is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, and you hear the stories. Like, you even heard Lane Johnson. I think it was last year or maybe a year before. Like, there are folklore, legendary stories of how freaky Jason Peters is.
Yeah.
Like, athletically, like his first step, his kick step, as they call it.
Yep.
From the football dorks out there. Like, it's one of the fastest I've ever.
Oh, Sixers made a trade.
Did they trade it?
Sixers.
Did they trade to Memphis?
Yeah, they're trading it to Memphis for DeAnthony Melton.
Ooh.
Is that like? Am I supposed to know who that is? Or
he gets buckets.
I mean, look, you said Milton.
Anthony Melton. He is a 6'2" guard, and he's picked in the second round of 2018, 46 overall.
We traded our 23rd. We traded 23rd.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing crazy. Average 10 points a game.
Martian Lynch. That's an awesome name, by the way.
Martian Lynch.
23 pick to Memphis for DeAnthony Melton. Okay.
Everybody was on them trading this. They knew they weren't keeping this pick.
No.
He's not a good 3-point shooter though. I was hoping
He was like 37%. I think.
Yeah.
37.
I think the league average was like 42, 43.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, so he's a good bench piece. He looked like he came out of a shell a little bit last year when he got some minutes.
I wish I could contribute. I don't follow NBA that hard, so. Well, you said he's 6'2". He's a point guard.
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard. Okay, so he's a undersized shooting guard.
Man, it's just another depth piece. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, with 23 overall, that's pretty much where you're gonna get.
But they could be packaging him with Matisse to go do something else.
Good. Whatever gets Matisse off my team.
We'll see. All right, gentlemen. So that wraps up our first half of the show. Good conversation. It was definitely good to see everyone's differing opinions, and so what we intended to have with all of us here is definitely got off to a good start. Let's transition over to our second half. But if you're listening, definitely still chime into the poll. Remember Miles Sanders' breakout season. Is he going to earn a contract extension? Agree or disagree? Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the Eagles' running back situation. But we're going to transition over to our second half. Let's do some running back rankings. Before we do, Mr. OG Pete, who we got on the sponsor side for the second half of the show?
I believe we're about to put it on screen because I lost my file. Producers help me out here, please.
Which one?
Just pick one. It doesn't matter.
Just pick one.
Just pick one.
All right. Here. There.
All right. So, second half is brought to you by Gleason's Bar, which is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue, Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order when you dine in, take out, or order online at GleasonBarSteaks.com. Who is that, Mona Lisa? Who is gracing us with their presence?
Just a party now? We had, geez.
Is this the voice?
Yeah, is this Ryan? Ryan, if you come on here and you don't wear glasses, you gotta go.
I don't have glasses. I'm just coming on to say one thing and I'm leaving.
What's up?
DeAnthony freaking Melton.
We're gonna stink. We're gonna stink. And I can't wait.
Ryan, who else was there though? Who was it?
I mean, DeAnthony Melton's going to help you better than any 19 or 20-year-old kid that you would have drafted at 23.
Wait, hold on. It wasn't just the 23rd pick. We have development from Shams. The 76ers have moved the 23rd pick and Danny Green.
Woohoo! Cap space!
So
they gave up Danny too?
Yeah,
they freed up some. I mean, he wasn't playing this year anyway.
Yeah,
so
he probably wasn't playing this year anyway. So they got his money off our books. So.
Damn, Danny in Memphis though, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not playing, so.
I mean, I know he's not playing, but still, him in Memphis is nice.
So, did they swap picks?
No.
Did they have a pick in the first round now, or no?
No. It's just they gave Memphis the 23rd for
Lydell or whatever his name is. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Middlebrook brings him up. All right, so here's how we're gonna do it, gentlemen. Your assignment, as I gave you, yes, we do have homework here in the summer on this show. Running back rankings. We all did our top 5-ish running back rank.
Yeah, that was for me.
Top 5-ish running backs going into the 2022 draft. 2022 season. Sorry, I'm all over the place. 2022 NFL season. So the way Pete and I have been doing this, we are basing our rankings off of when we do these is how are you projecting them into 2022? Not necessarily the criteria and what they've done in the past, but who would you take going into this season? If you did it a certain way or different way, that's perfectly fine. We can go off of that too, but that's how me and Pete usually rank them. So I've been doing a little chart for all of us so we can all see. Or the listeners can see too.
The chart looks a lot more crowded now.
It looks a lot more crowded. There are actually lines separating each, but it's hard to see. Like there's no line. Hard to see the line separating me and Pete. So I mean, it is what it is. But I will update as we go. So let's do it this way. I know we all did top 5. Did anyone do a little bit more than 5?
Outside of yourself?
Outside of myself. No. Okay, good. We're doing 5. All right, so let's all do this. Let's all get on the board first, okay? Let's all run off, and then we're gonna say who our number 5 is. I'll type them in, and then once everything's on the board, we'll discuss. So, Nate, who do you have?
Hold on, I got to bring up my cheat sheet. Okay.
Okay.
just chill for a second.
All right. Let's
the cheat sheet.
OGP, who do you got at number 5?
At number 5,
Go ahead. You got to get your
Aaron
cheat sheet.
Jones.
Aaron Jones. Okay.
I like it.
I have.
Hold on. Can we go top 5? Because I would feel like it's all consensus, right?
That's what we're doing, right?
Like, I mean,
you
I'm
want to go 1 to 5?
like, let me just throw a 5 out there and tell me if I'm out, I'm wrong. Taylor, Henry, Chubb, Cook, McCaffrey. Is that everybody's 5?
Basically.
No, I don't have McCaffrey.
Nah.
Yeah. So Pete's already off.
You said Taylor, Henry, Chubb, Cook.
Yeah, Taylor, Henry, Chubb, and Cook. Is that 4 of the 5?
That's 4 of my 5, correct?
Yeah.
Is that everybody's 4 of the 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm guessing.
What order do you have them in? That's the question.
Oh, well, Henry first.
Okay, so you have Derrick Henry for those.
I have Henry first.
Okay, who do you have 2?
And then I have Taylor 2.
Okay.
And then I have Chubb 3. And then I have Cook.
I was about to type in James Cook.
And then I have McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Okay.
CMC. Okay.
Yeah, I have McCaffrey.
All right, Pete, round out your 5. If you want to go 1 to 5 or 5 to 1.
Yeah, I'll go 1 through 5. So I got Jonathan Taylor first.
Okay.
I got Derrick Henry second.
Damn, how you got Henry 2, bro? That's 2K.
Well, listen, 2K getting old, baby.
Still trucking.
I've been on this dude. I've been higher on him ever since he's been drafted. So Dalvin Cook 3rd.
I knew it. I knew it.
And Nick Chubb 4th.
I knew you were gonna have
6 is actually I'll go 6 and 7. 6 is Kamara.
Okay.
7 is McCaffrey.
Wow, you got McCaffrey that low?
Listen, man. Great white hype got hurt, man.
You don't like white?
No, I
I still have my Run CMC Draft Him Howie t-shirt.
Pete Young, how what's your list?
I got Taylor 1.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say Jonathan Howard or Jordan Howard.
Sure. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly who I have. Yep. No,
I got. Can we take down the Gleason's bar banner? I'm sorry, Gleason, but I can't even see Jake on the screen.
Yeah. So, hold on,
He doesn't even exist.
I don't exist right now. There I am.
I got McCaffrey 2.
2.
I do. Really? Run CMC, man.
Christina.
Go ahead, Pete, tell him that you actually cousins.
Yeah, I fucking wish.
3.
Yeah. I have 3.
Who do you have 3?
I got Chubb.
I'm about to say it's got to be a mix of the 5.
Jesus Christ! Go. Who's
I got
4?
Derrick Henry.
Wow.
See, you was with him. You was riding with him, Nate. You was in the car. You was in the car.
You
was in the car with him.
5.
It's probably Dalvin Cook.
Okay. Wow, Pete, you went from Pete Young to White Pete.
He lost his last name.
Sorry, I just want you, everybody on the show. I say some wild shit sometimes.
Good.
And
It's okay. We'll get along great then.
Yeah, I say some shit that might hurt people's feelings.
I'm so out of pocket. Just ask Jake.
There's nothing called. There's no such thing as out of pocket. You're good.
Oh shit,
Jake.
All right. So number 1, Jonathan Taylor.
Damn, am I the only one with Henry 1?
Number 2, Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Number 3, Nick Chubb.
Okay.
Number 4, Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
And number 5, Christian McCaffrey.
There we go, Jake. See, we're of sound mind.
So the list is a little different.
Aaron Jones in the top 5.
Me and Jake are close, are the same one except for 1 and 2.
All right. So I'll go. I think I'll do 7. So 1 for mine.
Wow, minority over here.
2.
Black Pete.
Such is life, Nate. Such is
Here's Nick Chubb.
I like the Chubba too, though. I do like the Chubba too.
It's very difficult. It's very
Everyone likes a little
I'm
Chubb.
not mad because if he was the lone bell cow, he would be a problem.
Exactly.
I mean, he already a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm surprised this guy didn't get much more love, but I'm gonna give him love because
I thought about it
for a long
I got Mixon at 6.
time. And then I'm gonna have this guy at 6, and I'll go one more just because, and I might shock some people, but
no, don't you do it.
Miles Sanders?
Najee, okay.
Oh,
I see it. I'm
Yeah,
fine with
Najee
that.
I thought you was going with Denver boy.
I'm fine with that.
he would actually, he's actually 2 spots behind him, so I have it number 9.
9, yeah.
So yeah, I still like Najee better just by a smidge than Javonte, but Javante's a beast. But all right, so Nate has Derrick Henry. He's the sole guy who has Derrick Henry at 1. So I pose this question to you, Nate. Do you have any concern about wear and tear when it comes to Mr. Henry? The fact that he had to miss so much of 2021.
I mean, all these guys got wear and tear, but I think that the thing about Henry is he doesn't take a lot of big hits. Like he's always delivering the hit. He knows when to get out.
When you're that big, it's hard to take a hit.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that Jonathan Taylor is starting to rise, so I get the point of putting him over Henry. But for me, it's just like reliable, right?
Yeah.
Like Henry last year before he got hurt, he had like 900 yards in 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was on another tear.
Yeah.
And if he would have finished with 17 games, he probably would have broke 2,000 yards again. Might even got 21 or 2,200 yards.
Yep.
So I think Henry I just keep him there. He obviously got hurt. It's eventually he had over 300 and something carries for the last 2 or 3 years. So eventually it's going to catch up. We're seeing that with Zeke right now. Hate Dallas, hate Cowboys, respect the player and respect what he's done. But for me, it's just I still put Henry because I still think he's the king of the mountain as a running back. Taylor's close, but Taylor's only done it for 1 year.
I hear you. I understand. For me, and Pete knows, OG Pete knows, I prefer to do things in tiers. So if I were to tier this off, 1, 2, and 3 for me, so that's Taylor, Chubb, and Henry would be tier 1. And I really wouldn't I don't care what order you have those 3 in. They would be my top 3. I understand every argument for Henry. I understand every argument for Taylor. I want to make an argument for Nick Chubb getting some respect. I think the fact that he does split time with Hunt kind of goes against him in terms of narratives. And he's also a very quiet person. He doesn't talk a lot when he's in the games, and he doesn't market himself a lot. But I can make an argument in terms of a pure runner when it comes to vision, all the nuance, when it comes to running, contact balance. He is the best pure runner in the whole league. So I think that Nick Chubb definitely deserves some respect in terms of, you got to recognize this guy has been now for the past 2-3 years a tier 1 running back. It's just that a lot of people, they play fantasy football, they see that he splits time, so he's not a tier 1 fantasy football running back. So they don't talk about him a lot. But don't make any mistake. This guy is legit. And what you said, Nate, if he was the lead guy, like if he was getting the amount of touches everyone else was getting, like Taylor and Henry, he'd be going off, absolutely going off. Go ahead.
So I just saw this and somebody posted it. The guy the Sixers traded for, Melton, I guess Daryl Morey drafted him.
Oh my God!
In Houston.
Oh, we are the Rockets East, aren't we? God.
Yep.
Philadelphia Rockets.
Speed is out of here, baby. Watch.
God. All right. Okay. So not talking about Sixers for now. Christian McCaffrey made it into the top 5 of 3 people. So you got Nate has him at 5, Jake has him at 5. Pete Young, you got him at 2. Concern, I want to hear, what is the concern level of him not being able to stay healthy for the past 2 years. I loved Christian McCaffrey. Like Christian McCaffrey was the next coming of like he was this generation's, I guess you can say, Falk and Westbrook. You know, the type of that does it all.
Yep.
I it really concerns me he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So let's frame it this way. What is your projection for his numbers going into 2022? What do you think he'll put up?
I think he could have anywhere between 1,200 yards, like 11 touchdowns, and he's probably going to put up 700 to 800 yards.
Uh-oh. There goes his internet.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Back to one Pete.
Back to one Pete.
Oh, okay.
I can pick up where he left off. I would have ranked him higher, but he's been hurt the last 2 years. But I think that when you look at McCaffrey, he's like, I mean, it's crazy to say this, but he's a poor man's Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
And you saw in, what was that, 2019, that he has the potential to be a 1,000 player, right?
Mhm.
He went off over 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. And we haven't seen something like that. We've seen glimpses of other players that can do that, but we haven't seen it in terms of filling up the stat sheet like he did in 2019 when he had, I think, 12 or 1,300 yards and over 1,000 yards receiving. So, I mean, his first 3 years, he played all 16 games, right? And then, the 2021 and in 2020, just, he had bad luck and he got hurt. So I think I have him in the top 5 just because his ceiling's so damn high, right? And he's done it. So I understand the injury concern. I think maybe a little bit of string of bad luck, obviously the position, and then obviously the team itself, right? Like it was all him. Like there was nothing there. No quarterback, no nothing. It was just him. So I think, and that's why I said I think that this year, I think he comes back. I'm not saying he's going to come back and form to 2019 form, but I expect him to have over 1,000 yards. I expect him to get close to maybe like 17 yards from scrimmage is a better way to say it.
Okay.
1,700 yards. I don't think he gets to 1,000 yards receiving, but to say that he gets 1,100 yards and like 700 or 600 yards receiving and 1,100 yards rushing, maybe close to 15 to 20 total touchdowns. I don't think that's that would be a floor for him in my opinion.
Jake, project. How do you project Christian McCaffrey in 2022?
I mean, like Nate said, it's been a bunch of string of injuries. We know, and obviously that's hurt him. Obviously these past 2 seasons, but if he can stay healthy, I think a lot of people forgot how good he actually is when he's fully healthy, because he's a problem.
Yep.
When he's fully healthy. And we saw the one year when he was arguably the best running back in the league, he can run a whole offense by himself.
Yeah.
You just throw him the ball and he does everything else. So
I mean, he had like 10 catches and in a game, and he had like 140, 150 yards. Like it's just great. But you got that usage is unreal.
It's nuts.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's unreal. It's one outside of lineman, it's the position that you get hit almost every play.
Yep.
You don't understand that. Like when you play football, like linemen have to have a different mentality because there's not a play where you don't get hit. You get hit every single play as a lineman. And you can say the same thing. It's very rare that a running back does not get hit.
Right.
Some way, somehow.
And if I'm Christian McCaffrey too, like, and if these injuries keep happening, I might start thinking about taking the route of his dad and just switching to wide receiver, because he can do that too. He can do that very well.
He could.
So
I mean, he has done it, and
just in order to prolong his career. That's the other thing.
And to Nate's point, it's crazy because with running backs, they're the one skill position that gets hit every play. Linemen, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, they get hit every play, obviously, but those guys are big. They're big for a reason. Whereas you have running backs who, the lightest running backs would be 190, maybe. And then they go as up to 230, 240, maybe,
give
if
or
they're
take.
big.
Yeah.
So, but like the average is going to be between 200 and 220. Like you're getting hit, and even though a lot of them are built pretty well, you're still getting hit by people at full force. So it's like that's why the shelf life is obviously so low compared to any other position, and that's what kind of concerns me with McCaffrey, with a lot of these guys like Zeke. I mean, we hate the Cowboys, but I think we all agree like we respect Zeke a ton when he was in his prime. But we're starting to see like the tread's no longer there. You're starting to like you can make a case Pollard has been a more impactful player for that team the past 2 years than Zeke has.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like saying that being a fan of the position, a guy who studies a position. I don't like saying that, but that's just the nature of the beast. Now I'll have each of you will go down the line. I want you to name one running back, maybe not on this list, that you think can really rise significantly going into 2022, or someone who can really have a really great breakout year to where maybe next year when we're doing this, they could crack the top 5, could crack our rankings. I already mentioned Najee Harris. There's a lot of them I think will have a breakout year. But Jake, we'll start with you, and then we'll go up to Pete, Nate, and then OG. Name one running back, each of you, who you think is someone to keep an eye on this year.
For me, and I think it's kind of a no-brainer just because of the addition of Russell Wilson, it has to be Javonte Williams. You saw how good of a year he had his rookie year, and he's only going to get better. Well, obviously, with the addition of Russell Wilson, you have Jerry Jeudy, who's healthy. You have Tim Patrick, and I always forget Cortland Sutton. You have that too. Mm-hmm. So you have defenses worrying about those guys, while you have a really young running back along with Russell Wilson. So I think he's going to have a huge year this year.
Agreed. Pete, he's hurt.
He's coming back from injury.
Yeah, I know, but he tore his Achilles.
I think he could come back, and I think he could have a really productive year. He's coming. You're going to get a new Lawrence, which is going to help him a lot. And I think not having the world's worst coach in the history of professional football is going to help. There's not going to be any grab assings that's going to
Can't argue with that.
I think your argument would fit better for ETN than James Robinson, even though
ETN is also coming off an injury, so.
Yeah, but he didn't tear his Achilles. He tore his early in the season. James Robinson tore his Achilles later in the season. So
Achilles is tough to come back from.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal. Nate, who you got?
It's tough, man. I like the Williams' pick. I'm trying to think of just give somebody from left field that given opportunity would probably shine a little bit. I'm my thought is like Dylan from Green Bay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
Dylan from Green Bay kind of sticks out. I think J.K. Dobbins Baltimore is another one. Given opportunity. It just Dobbins handicap because, obviously because of Lamar, right? Lamar's going to give you like almost 800 yards rushing. So, and Dobbins obviously with Jones there. But how long does Jones stay there? Are they going to still run that kind of two-headed monster that they have?
I'm assuming. I mean, they have they don't have Devontae anymore, so they got to keep running the ball. So I'm assuming there's going to be enough workload for both of them continue going forward. Yeah. But AJ Dillon is definitely he's legit. AJ Dillon's good.
Yeah, was he Boston College?
Yep.
Was he Boston College? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so I think somebody, but like realistically, somebody who could crack probably like top 8 out of all those guys, I would probably lean Williams to me.
Yeah.
I like Jake's pick with Williams. I don't see anybody else that could probably top
Williams rise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. OG, what you got?
All right, so I'm gonna hit on 3 things. I feel like I haven't talked in a while. Christian McCaffrey, too fucking big for his size. That's the problem. I said that to you, Chuck. So I think maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think Saquon's the same thing. I think if Christian McCaffrey lost a little bit of weight, slimmed down a little bit, his body will hold up better throughout a year.
You know what's crazy is CMC bulked up.
Yeah.
When he entered the draft, he was slimmer. He bulked up to take on more of the workload. I remember that because he also wasn't a good interior runner when he came out of the draft.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's bulking up and then adding mass, lean mass is just two different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two different things. As far as cracking this list, top 8 or maybe top 10, I like the Najee Harris. I like the Javonte Williams. So I'm going to give you guys a name that is not even on here that should be on here. And he was the predecessor to Kenneth Gainwell, and that's Antonio Gibson.
That's a good one too.
Yep. Quiet as kept in Washington his first 2 years. He's put up numbers and he's played through a lot. He's good out of the backfield, reliable, available. I know he had turf toe last year,
something like that. Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. But I can see Antonio Gibson be here. You know, I love my Joe Mixon. So I can see names on here that may be falling off of this list next year that can easily where other guys can be taking their place.
You're talking about your Aaron Jones pick?
I like Aaron Jones though, because the reason I like is he like you said, he can kind of do it all. You're speaking about somebody else. He can catch it, he can run it. Now, does he benefit as well? Yes, he benefits as well. The offensive line there in Green Bay isn't the greatest, but Matt LaFleur, I think, is a very underrated run game designer. AJ Dillon could be there to take him over though, but AJ Dillon got some big ass thighs, boy. God damn.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That boy got some trunks on him. But once again, we talking about as far as the passing game. Now, looking at this list, I do feel like I may have Aaron Jones just a little too high. I could probably put him back a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, he could probably go down. I still wouldn't put Christian McCaffrey. Like, I'm not. Christian McCaffrey's best days are behind him. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, he's only been in the league 4 years, Pete.
We just talked about 3. You just said 3 year shelf life. We was talking about Miles Sanders, so he's already 1 year spoiled.
No, I mean 3 years at their peak.
Okay.
I had this argument with somebody about Westbrook, and I'm like, yo, Westbrook was only good for like 3 years. And they was like, no. Westbrook was good for great. He was good for like 7-8 years. Yeah. But when you look at the numbers and the stats, well, he had a 3-year run. He got hot, and then he had a 3-year run, and then he tapered off after.
Nate's correct. His peak was beginning. I mean, 06, 07, and 08. 09 was when he crashed. It's because and he could have had better numbers earlier in his career, but remember, Andy Reid was so pass happy. He wasn't running the ball a lot. Westbrook's rookie year, he was never used. Second year is when he came on in 03, and he was in the 3-headed monster. 04 was the TO year. We were passing the ball left or right, obviously, and then 05 Westbrook was hurt half the year. So I mean, like, production wise, Nate's right. He only had 3 years of top tier running back production, but the talent was always there. Circumstances just weren't earlier in his career. So
I know he called you OG Plea. I'm gonna call you Black Pete.
I know it.
You're the only one that can do it.
I can get away with it.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
You have Jones over Mixon?
Yeah, because Aaron Jones has. I mean, the consistency. He had a 4-touchdown game last year. Mixon has never had that, and I think while Mixon is still in the offense that is great,
now, though, bro.
Mixon's always been dope, though.
I've been on him since Oklahoma. I was at the draft in 2017 in the second round, wanting them to draft him.
Yeah.
Screaming for the Raptors to draft him. But I'll tell you this, and looking at 2022, the passing game between Burrow and Chase is only going to evolve more.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Green Bay. They lost a lot. They're going to have to rely on Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So looking into how we look at this for the 2022 season, Aaron Jones is even going to have more of a workload. But I also think at the same time, he is on the fringe to maybe if we do this next year, he's not on this list.
Yeah.
I think it's a slippery slope for him, Kamara, McCaffrey, maybe not so much.
That's
McCaffrey for me, but McCaffrey maybe not so much.
Who's the true test? Fantasy football, who you drafting first?
Aaron Jones or Joe Mixon?
Yeah.
Aaron Jones. I did it last year.
Joe Mixon.
No,
I did it last year.
No way you're dry. You're doing Jones.
Because you know why?
You just went from Black Pete to Light Skin Pete.
Actually, I had them both. I had them both on my team, so I was lucky with that, and I doubled back and got Joe Mixon. But if you look at the fantasy output last year, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron Jones had better numbers than Joe Mixon last year.
Oh man, Mixon is bell cow all the way.
Oh, he is. Don't get me wrong. He's a bell cow all the way.
Yeah, I love me some. I've always loved me some Mixon. He never got before last year. He never got like notoriety because he was playing in Cincinnati. They just got good. Yeah, so like he never got the note, but he's always been like a top tier talent. Like the talent's always been there, never went away. He just finally got a team around him, and good coach. And I think to your point, Pete, you were talking about how like the passing game is going to keep evolving. I think that no matter what, though, they're always going to lean on Mixon's running game. That's always going to be an important part. You look at that system that they run, they use a lot. They rely on that wide zone a lot to branch off with their passing game. So like they need Mixon to run just like he has been last year. So I don't think that running game, no matter everyone else is going to get better, but I think the philosophy and what they put in and them prioritizing the run game, that's not going to change. So I think Mixon's role is going to stay the same for another year. Now, if you're talking about 3 years down the line, 2-3 years down the line, then yeah, I get it. But I think Mixon still has a good season or two of prime play left in him.
I mean, I can say the same for Aaron Jones. I get that. Another name that's not on anybody's list at all.
Well, I didn't go yet. I didn't say my guy.
Okay, go ahead. You give yours. If you don't give it, I'll say it.
So Nate cheated. So he named 3. So I'm going to name 3. All right. No, it's fine. I don't care. You took a page out of my book because I always cheat too. I'm not.
Okay. So people with glasses cheat a lot. Just like you know.
Number one, like the first guy, I'm going to say Clyde Edwards-Helaire because he was hurt all last year. I did not know this.
Okay.
So he said he was hurt all last year. He couldn't do a lot of the things to develop and to train. So knowing that changes a lot of stuff. So I think Clyde will have a better year. But also the other guy I think is going to have a monster year and really, really break out. I think DeAndre Swift is going to take that next step. I think DeAndre Swift playing behind, being coached by Deuce has helped him a lot. I know Deuce has pushed him to really be tougher physically and mentally this upcoming season. And I think that team obviously is going to lean on DeAndre Swift even more than they did last year. But I think Swift is ready to take that next step. And I think Devontae would be my first mention. So I agree with Jake. He's the first guy that jumps out to me where I'm like, okay, he's going to be a top 5, top 10 running back next year. But I think Clyde and Swift would be in that next conversation for me.
Okay. All right. There's a name on here that I know for fucking fantasy purposes would get drafted before some of these other motherfuckers on here. And I can't believe it. Where the hell's Austin Eckler at?
Yeah.
Austin Eckler was, I think, he was
he would be in
8.
top 10.
He's 8. So he literally was the next name. So
right,
for me, it was
in real life football, he's 8. Fantasy value wise, I know we'll probably do a fantasy show come August. His value is a lot higher than that.
A lot higher.
Oh yeah, sure.
In PPR, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I like Eckler a lot. I think with Eckler,
who is he breaking out of the top 5 in fantasy?
In fantasy,
he might be. In
fantasy. I think if it's PPR, I think you make an argument that Chubb. You make an argument over Chubb because of Chubb doesn't get the passing down work Hunt does.
Yeah, but he scores though.
He does score. Yeah, I get it. I'm saying an argument. I personally would still have Chubb over Eckler.
I was about to say if Chubb and Eckler's there, who are you taking?
I am taking Chubb. I know people that would take Eckler.
Is it easier decision to make Eckler or Mixon if they're both there on the board for fantasy?
I'm taking Eckler over Mixon.
I'm taking Eckler over Mixon.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
Yep. If it's PPR. If it's PPR. Yeah.
Well, I mean, who's out there doing standard non-PPR leagues anymore?
I
don't
know
know.
people. I know people that still stick to standard.
Still do this? Really?
Do you guys run a fantasy league?
Yeah.
Chuck does dynasty leagues now.
I do dynasty leagues now. I strictly do dynasty now.
Oh, you only do dynasty? Yeah. I don't have.
I've got.
I can't. I'm not there yet.
I started last year, and I'm addicted. So I stopped all my other leagues, and I only do dynasty now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that, brother.
Too
much work for me.
It's a lot of work. It's so much fun.
He needed to take a sip of. Just thinking about that shit.
Jake's in the start of Dynasty League with me now that we have going on. We are in round 20 of a 25 round slow draft.
See that, Nate? We ain't got time for that shit. Bro. I ain't got time for that.
No. But the live I mean, hopefully it comes back this year, obviously with COVID, but I've done a couple in person fantasies.
Oh, they're the best. They're the best.
They're not bad.
Especially if you can do like a live auction.
Oh, live auction. I told Tom that if he wants to put together an A2D auction league, and I'll be the
commissioner,
the commissioner and the auctioneer, I'll do it. I don't have to be in it, but I'll run it for you guys, and then I'll be the auctioneer. I absolutely would. That'd be fun. That'd be like we do an in-person draft, at Tom's or something like that. I'd be down. I would be down. I'll bring that up to him again. All right, so good conversation. We're almost hitting the 90-minute mark, so I think now is a good time to get into our final segment of the show that we always end with. To those who are new to the segment, new to this show, we call this segment No Huddle, and it's because we pretty much just rip off random topics to far away at, whether it be sports related or not. So that's always a lot of fun. But before we get to it, we want to hit up one more sponsor. That's Specialized Physical Therapy. Hit them up. They've got 2 locations in Burlington and Cherry Hill. Make them yours. SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. All right, guys. Anyone have anything you want to talk about? Again, it can be sports related. It can be non-sports related. Pete and I, over the past several weeks, have been going into like movie talk, MCU talk, DC movie talk, Star Wars, stuff like that. So I'll have at it. Anyone else wants to jump up? If you have anything to talk about real quick, get off the
real
chat.
quick, because I know Jake doesn't have any. I'm not sure about Pete. But the top 3 of us are all fathers, right? So Father's Day, hopefully both of all the fathers on this panel. Pete, do you have any kids? No?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a scary thought to have another Pete Young running around there. But the top 3. So me, myself, Nate, and Chucks. Like, don't get me wrong, Father's Day is great. But like my kids got me a gazebo.
Ooh.
For a grill. Like that's fucking work.
But you gotta put that together.
Yeah.
Something for you to put together.
Put it together, and the whole purpose is to cook food for everybody's enjoyment.
That's not a gift.
It's better than some fucking socks.
That's true.
I gotta have socks. At least I don't have
socks
to do anything with them.
I can't stand the socks and tie shit. That's
just at least.
Like, do I look like an old white man?
No.
I mean, I look close, but no, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, very close.
I don't get that one. My wife used to do that a couple times. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Like, you don't want to be ungrateful, but like, come on.
Oh, you don't like your gift? I'm like, fuck no, I don't like it.
My whole thing with gifts is at least A, something I like, and B, no gift cards, and C, it's very simple. Like, make it useful. Like, if I'm never gonna fucking use it, I don't want it.
Yeah, and I think I've like, and I was like, and I just told her, I was like, what if I got you some fucking pantyhose? Like, for Mother's Day, we didn't go to no brunch. Didn't do anything. I just got you some pantyhose. Like, how would you feel?
Didn't he wrap them bitches?
Yeah. Like, here's some pantyhose. Go wear those things around.
Now we can't do that, right?
Yeah, Father's Day is it's funny because all brunches are open on Father's Day. Mother's Day, you got to book that shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. You got to book it a month at least.
And I sound like a hater, but I was raised a single mom. You know what I mean? So with a single mom parent household, so I sound like a hater. So I love my moms out there, but shit, I'm a good damn dad. So
Exactly.
I need
You want that top-tier shit, man.
So I know my wife's probably not watching. She might be hearing me upstairs, just waiting at the top of the steps for me to. But she did her thing this year, right? She made me a dinner, and then she brought me Eagles tickets to the Dallas game.
Nice.
Good stuff.
So I'm okay with that. I do, before I get out of here, I do got one thing to add in this session is the movie Hustle wasn't that good.
It was okay.
Yeah, right. It was okay.
It wasn't anything great.
I'm not with the hype train.
It's okay.
Right.
It's okay. You should just go to Hulu and watch the
There
air.
are a lot of people saying it's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are saying this.
This was like such a great movie, and I'm just like, yeah, it's all right.
It's a dumb basketball movie. Like it's just expect nothing less.
It's just
I got more of like I took more away from it from the Philly references and the cameos. Like I thought they were the coolest part of the movie.
Cameos.
What's up?
If it had nothing to do with Philadelphia, I don't think people would care.
Yeah, I mean,
that's probably a true statement.
Probably, I think that probably in this area it's getting more hyped up than obviously.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just, I don't think it was
just
great.
okay.
Yeah.
And then another sidebar. I'm excited about Thor.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Can't wait. Jane's gonna kick some ass.
I'm actually going to King of Prussia.
Nice.
For the 4DX. It'll be my first ever 4DX experience. I don't know what
how that goes.
The hell's 4DX?
It's like they said it's like the rides at Disney, which I've never been to Disney either.
So picture it like, say for example, like Thor's flying, for example. So if there's like a scene where he's flying, you get wind blown in your face. If it's raining, you get like a little bit of drizzle on you and shit.
Oh wow, they're gonna do all that.
Yeah.
That type of experience.
So I get to feel Chris Hemsworth's sweat, is what you're saying.
Wow. Whoa, wait a minute. What? Why would you want another man's sweat on you, Pete?
That's a beautiful man. I'm sorry.
That's a beautiful.
That's a beautiful man. I'm sorry. That's like God's perfect creation.
That's what Thor does to you.
I mean, they better do all that shit. The tickets was like $30 a piece, bitch.
Oh my god!
Yeah, right. I want if I'm paying that much. Like when I went to go see Batman opening, because I got special tickets where I was like the first one to see it for like 3 days prior. I spent like $30 on that shit.
I mean, that was worth it.
That was worth it. It was beautiful.
Movie tickets are
You're talking about the last Batman, right?
Yeah, the one with
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, a lot of people hate on that. I thought it was actually better than
I liked it a lot.
The only reason people don't like that movie is because they're Batfleck buttheads, or they don't like Robert Pattinson because he was in fucking Twilight.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Hate to tell you, people, Christian Bale's in fucking Newsies. You know,
it's a good movie.
Ben Affleck was in fucking Geely. Michael Keaton was in Mr. Mom.
Yep.
Val Kilmer was in his shitty teen comedies.
I thought he did a good job, and I thought they did a good job of making it dark. That's
right. It was, and that's I think that's another reason people didn't like it. It wasn't all flashy. Shit didn't blow up.
It's a 3-hour detective movie. It's exactly what it presented itself to be.
I didn't like the Catwoman character.
I didn't really either.
The character or the person who played Catwoman?
No, she's cool.
Okay.
And I think she did okay. But I just the character didn't carry any weight for me. Like it tried to give the story for it.
Okay.
Give the art.
But this is also like her before she is Catwoman. Like
she's still going by Selena at that point.
Yeah. It wasn't the suit. It wasn't really do nothing Catwoman-esque.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer bodied that role.
But but when Michelle Pfeiffer is in that, she's full on Catwoman. Like there's no ifs or buts.
I mean, it's like Halle Berry's John bombed, and Halle's timeless.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Halle Berry's character was just some random ass character who said she was Catwoman.
Yeah, like she couldn't live up to that character. Like a lot of people who
if you've ever read, like this is very much her interpretation of the character is very much Long Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. It is.
Yeah. So I just that was the only part of that. I mean, I loved Penguin. I loved
Colin Farrell was fantastic.
Yeah, I love.
You're gonna love his show then.
I loved who's the main guy? I love Riddler. I love his character.
Paul Dano, he's amazing.
Yeah,
he's
like I loved him. And I like, and even shit, what's it? Gordon.
The Gordon character was great.
Gordon,
Oh, he's great.
all the characters were all good to me, except Catwoman.
Yeah.
I really liked Catwoman's character because I knew I kind of understood where they were coming from with it, and I'm going to be interested to see where they go forward with it. Like I'm not a huge Batman guy, so I was obsessed. The fact that I obsessed over this movie, and I spent $30 to see a movie 3 days before it fucking came out, tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Catwoman's character because she's nice to look at.
Yes, she is.
She's very easy now.
Very easy.
Fair.
So,
very easy now.
Yeah, she, I get that part, but I just like I said, I mean,
if you have to rank the characters as a weight,
she's last.
She would be last.
She'd be last.
She'd be last. That's a fair assessment.
But the way they positioned her, it was kind of like she shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be.
Right, and I think they kind of hit it at like the love interest part of it, like heavy. Like maybe they was feeling each other, but
no, I mean, I think that was granted, right? That was granted, but I think they did a good job of that.
Yeah,
I just think her character didn't carry any weight. Like,
Catwoman
should be kicking people's ass, and she really wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was
she had like 2 scenes.
Like burglar.
She had like 2 fighting scenes, right? Like she was.
That was really it.
Yeah, I think. So, but
that's the thing though. Like with that movie, it's like they gave you the best foundation possible.
Yep.
And now they can just
because he signed on for 3, right?
Forward.
He signed on for 3 of them, right?
He signed on for 3, but they're also doing. There's rumors she's getting a show. They're going to do an Arkham show, and they're doing Penguin's getting his show. So
okay,
shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all the spin-off side shows. Speaking of shows, has anyone started watching Miss Marvel? I know Pete used OG.
I saw the first 1.5 of it.
How'd you like it? I heard it's actually better than expected.
It takes some time to get it going.
Okay.
I think I
heard some people don't like the changes
because it's but I don't know her story. Like I'm an old school Marvel guy, so I still have like my old books. But I don't know her story 100%. So
like they basically changed her powers.
It's new. Her arc and her story is kind of new to me. Is she part of the new Avengers though?
Yes.
Okay.
But she's
replacing Brie Olsen?
Yeah, she's like one of the most popular like newer characters in the last 10 years. Like Miles Morales is.
Okay.
I think like it's like for me. It has a definite like target demographic. Like it's targeted to young people and obviously it's targeted to also some minority groups. And I heard like I saw a statistic that like the viewership has been highest among those two demographics. Minorities.
They did a good job of that. They did a good job of showing culture.
It's very interesting. Like my wife wants to watch it. I'll get around to watching it, but like we've been watching Obi-Wan and then I don't care for that. I've been catching her up. She started watching Clone Wars, so
there you go.
That. And then obviously Stranger Things is coming out soon. The last 2 episodes. So like it's far down the line of like stuff I gotta catch up on. And plus I still gotta catch up on what's it called? The one on Amazon Prime.
Which one?
Boys.
So good.
And
Herogasm tomorrow.
Umbrella Academy just came out with their next season.
I just started that.
I'm on episode 6 already.
Hold on, what's that? What'd you just say?
Umbrella Academy.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
My boss, one of the guys at my dealership was talking about that. He's really excited for tomorrow's episode of Umbrella Academy. He's got a giant Captain America fucking chair in his office.
Jesus.
Umbrella Academy is different. It's different.
Y'all boys do anime?
Of course, I do.
Yeah.
No.
I don't really like new. I'm not really a big fan of new anime.
Oh, okay. So
what should go anime of all time, Nate?
Oh shit.
Avatar.
No,
that's a joke.
It's so easy to say Dragon Ball, but I think mine was Gundam Warriors.
That's a good one.
I was a big fan of Gundam. Oh, no, actually, you know what? Now that I have to start about it, Guyver. I loved Guyver.
Okay.
Guyver's a good one.
My shit.
I was always a fan of Gundam Wing or Ronin Warriors or Sailor Moon.
Oh, yeah. Ronin Warriors was my shit.
Yeah, Ronin Warriors was tough too.
G Gundam was like my first one, like first Gundam.
You were embarrassing me live on air.
I'm trying to think. I think my all-time favorite's Berserk. That's my all-time favorite.
Berserk?
Oh, it's phenomenal. So good.
I mean, Dragon Ball's up there. Naruto is up there.
It's hard not
Yeah, those are the given ones.
I don't get the Naruto hype.
You got to watch Shippuden. Demon Slayer's getting up there. I'm low key. I'm on like episode 400 of One Piece right now, and I got 600 more to go.
Oh my god!
When you have 1,000 episodes or something, the character arcs is just and the development is it's nothing like it. You just get so much time with anime.
They're doing their last season though too, right?
Yeah.
It's their last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there used to be a shop on South Street where they used to sell the VHSs, with the
subtitles.
Subtitles. That's how I watched the first Dragon Ball Z with Broly in it in the movie.
Yeah, I brought a couple Dragon Balls like that too. But then it just like it started spinning off. It was GT and then all this other stuff, and then I just kind of fell off. Like now he's at like. What is he at? Like gold, like God Super Saiyan 500,000.
Yeah, they just came out with a new feature animated movie, full length. It was Dragon Ball Super, and then Hero something.
It was like Superhero or something. Yeah.
Boondocks is anime-esque. Boondocks is the shit.
Love Boondocks.
You can just get away with so much shit when you talk about animated versus live action. You could tackle so many things, man. And it's nobody takes it too serious, but the message hits home. I'll tell you that because Boondocks was tackling shit that there's no way you could have did a live action with that bitch.
No.
I know we don't count this as an anime, but I did see the announcement. Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're coming out with 3 new animated movies.
I'm just here for Zuko.
From the same creators too. So I don't know if anyone else watches it, but
I do. Zuko may have one of the greatest story arcs of all time.
That's my dude.
Absolutely, all time.
Well,
I'd rather watch 3 seasons of Zuko than like another 5 minutes of Aang. So
it's Zuko and who are the other 2 that they're doing? Because they're supposed to be doing 3.
I know it's Zuko. The other water, or was it the
Earthbender? Wasn't it
Toph?
The Earth Avatar.
The one before
the lady
Kyoshi.
I know they're doing her.
And then I forget who the 3rd one is.
Yeah, I didn't look into it. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what the 3 were going to be about. But
I'm excited. Zuko, though.
I'm excited.
Ted, are you saying Ted is saying Lupin is the 3rd? Which I don't remember.
No, Lupin the 3rd is a big anime.
I thought he was talking about.
Yeah, he's like a detective or something.
I haven't seen it. Like I'm missing like I guess like ones you should miss. Like my daughter keeps yelling at me for not seeing Death Note.
Death Note's phenomenal.
Death Note's really fun.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
so
like
good.
like she's like Dad, like what are you doing?
It's great.
And
if you haven't seen it, I recommend Robotech.
Robotech's good.
Yeah, like it's like I like to see the killing in the slide.
Oh, there's a lot of killing in that.
In Death Note, yeah.
Like I like to see the fighting. And
like the funniest thing is Robotech's live action rights were once owned by Tobey Maguire.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, he was gonna make a movie and everything, and then he lost the rights, and I think Netflix just acquired the live action rights.
Oh, speaking of Netflix, if sticking with anime, Castlevania, very good.
That's okay.
Very good.
The first couple seasons were good. The middle seasons, the last season though.
The last season was great.
Ooh.
Yeah, the last season was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't watch that yet, but I've seen it. I know
it's very good.
If you're looking for something animated on Netflix, Inside Job is fucking amazing.
Okay.
That's really funny. Like it's basically like all the conspiracy theories people have are real.
Okay.
It's pretty funny.
You talking about like Black Mirror?
Kind of like it is run by the deep state. All the government officials are like aliens. You know, the Kennedy assassination was like a conspiracy theory. Like it's all this funny shit.
Yeah, it sounds like Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. I can't wait for the next season. Even though they just started filming.
Are they going to start the next season?
Yeah, they started filming the next season. Yeah, I read into it. I wish it was sooner, but at least they're moving on. And then they're starting to film next month. I don't know if anyone else watches, but they're filming the next season of Warrior next month. So I'm really excited for Warrior.
Was that?
It's a live action. It's like kind of based on Bruce Lee when he came over. It's the kung fu in that is phenomenal, man.
So that means you're a big. I think I've seen some videos. You do wushu, right?
I do. Yeah.
Is that that's not IP Man, is it?
Ip Man is a form of kung fu. It's a southern style. So wushu is more so like wushu is more of like the performance art.
It's a performance art. Yeah, I had a friend who did that. He actually does. He's like a stuntman now.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
Another Schwarber bomb.
Yeah,
a lot of people that get like people in China and stuff, like when they do wushu at a young age, that's what they get into. Is they get into like the movie industry, and everything. Yeah, like it's crazy. Even the fight choreography for the next Ahsoka series coming up, all wushu stuff incorporated. So I'm really excited about that because that's.
Jet Li was a wushu master, right?
Yes, yeah. He actually went to my Shifu. Jet Li was at the same school that my Shifu studied at.
Nice.
So, like my Shifu is like legit, like from China, was competed on ESPN, stuff like that. So, I have a really good Shifu. He's really good, but yeah, it's fun. It's taxing on the body, especially for someone who's 36 years old like me. But it's a good workout, very good exercise.
Old as shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I'm the oldest one on here. I'm not.
No. Are you 40?
I'm 39.
Yeah, I'm 39 too.
39.
40 in a couple weeks.
I'm assuming Jay.
What are you doing for 40?
Man, like my family, I've never been big in celebrating my birthdays. Like I'd rather celebrate others. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 40 is a milestone year though.
All right, that means we're throwing you a surprise party then. That's fine. I'll hit up Charlotte.
Hey man, like if somebody wants to do it for me, that's all well and good. I don't like doing things because I do so much for myself on a normal basis anyway.
Selfish motherfucker.
Like I've just been if I want something, if I want to buy something, if I like this, I like that. I just
get it.
I'm right there with you. Yep, I do the same thing.
My wife complains because like when she asks me like what do I want, I'm like I kind of have everything. Like I just buy it. So like I don't know. I don't want to answer that. Give me anything Batman, anything Eagles, anything Under Armour.
And I'm into like another one of my favorite animes right now is My Hero Academia.
That's a great one.
You've been talking about that. Yeah,
I don't like My Hero.
You said you do. You do not.
Do not.
Well, you don't like. So, have you read the mangas at all or no?
No, I don't read the anime. My daughter loves reading them, but I don't. It's really interesting because I never really introduced anime to my daughter, and she's on a different level.
She just picked it up.
She's on a different level. She reads it, she watches it.
Right.
They didn't even make a new Attack of Titan. She's already read it.
Oh my god.
That's how it is. Like with My Hero right now, I think the manga is probably like it probably would for them to catch up. They probably need like another 2 seasons.
Yeah,
that's how far it is. And the same like Boruto is Naruto's son is that whole manga is pretty good. I'll give you another one. If you like blood and shit a lot, there's one on Amazon called the Vinland Saga.
Yeah,
I've heard about that,
bro. I ran through that. That was
if you want to see some shit. Oh yeah,
I ran through that already.
I'm waiting.
I'm a big sucker for anything Vikings, like the Vikings series,
Vikings anime. Kingdom. I'm there. I'm here for it.
I'm all there. Vinland Saga is shit. I can't wait for that next season to come out.
They released a trailer a couple months ago, and I was super for it then.
Yeah,
that one. I mean, Black. I don't know if you guys ever watched Black Clover.
No,
that's another one. It's like a synopsis of like you grow up in a society where everybody wants to be a wizard, and you get a certain book. So then at you get like 15 years old, like your magic book is it chooses you. So 2 things happen. These is 2 kids. It's Austin. I actually forget the other kid's name. The one kid is a prodigy.
Wow.
The one kid is a prodigy, and he gets like the strongest, like the Merlin type version book. And so he's on the path. He's on the path to greatness, whatever. The other kid, the real main protagonist, he gets a book, but it's the devil. Like it's the devil's book himself. That's where he's getting his powers from. but he uses them for good. And like think of any type of he's like Goku. Like he never stops. It could be 100 on 1. It could be 100 to 1. And he's not. You're gonna have to literally kill this dude, and you can't kill him because he still finds a way to come back and win. That's kind of how the story is. But that's like season 4 or 5, and wait for that. Like the wait game for live action anime, that's the toughest part. That's why when they was talking about like Gundam Wars, and I got into Gundam because I wasn't into it at first, but now I'm going back and watching all this shit because everything I was watching, I'm waiting for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like everybody else, waiting for this shit to drop.
That's the worst.
Exactly.
I hate that shit.
I
heard Doctor Strange just came out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I saw it twice.
That's you mean Dr. Scarlet Witch? That's what that shit.
That was crazy. Like
I love the fact that they did that with her, though.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they let her kind of
absolutely. No complaints about her. That the rest of the movie though. Yeah. We'll say that for another week.
I agree because I'm done my yak.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
To go. Once the cup is empty.
It's been a lot of fun for our first show together. I am very happy. I'm very grateful for you guys to be coming on and to join the Birds of a Feather family. I know we got a lot of great shows coming up this summer. We're going to have a lot of good discussions. We got another month of filler before preseason and training camp. So we'll get into some interesting topics here on Birds of a Feather. But appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to what we got for the future.
Absolutely.
For anyone else that's listening, anyone that's listening and tuned in, appreciate you guys for all your support every single week. We thank you. You guys know that. Thank you for rocking with us. And things are only going to get better. Things are only going to go up from here. So stick with us and stick with the rest of the shows on A2D. You got shows every single night. Well, that could change a little bit, but we'll see. Stay tuned for a lot of great changes coming up. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming your way. To all our sponsors, especially our main sponsor, Manscaped, remember 20% off. Use the promo code A2D. So thank you guys. For everyone else, enjoy the week. Be safe. God bless. And we will see you same time next week, 9:30 p.m. on Thursday. Peace out and fly Eagles fly, guys. Peace.
Later.